Welcome back to the Tech Coach Corner YouTube series presented by Dyknow. I'm Tiara Lustig, your host today, and for today's episode, we're joined once again by Kyle Niemis to talk about ClassroomQ. Kyle created ClassroomQ with some fellow teachers of his, so we're going to talk all about what it is, how to use it, and whether or not it really applies to a remote setting, and how you can get started using ClassroomQ if you're interested. Before we jump in, I want to remind everyone to please subscribe to Dyknow's YouTube channel, make sure you're turning on push notifications, and don't forget to follow us on all of our social channels so you never miss a thing. I think that's all we have to plug today. I'm really excited for this conversation with Kyle, so let's jump into it. Welcome back to Tech Coach Corner, everyone. I'm Tiara Lustig, your host today, and I am joined by Kyle Niemis for this episode. Kyle, would you mind giving a brief introduction to yourself before we get started?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Kyle Niemis. I am a middle school tech coach from New Jersey. I was a middle school science teacher for 12 years. Now I've been a tech coach for a couple of years, which has been super fun, and I'm happy to be here.
We're excited to have you. We had you previously on our Tackling Tech podcast, and you talked about a lot about flipped learning and ClassroomQ. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about ClassroomQ, how you came up with it, what it is, and maybe how teachers can use it both in the physical classroom and maybe in the remote classroom.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to talk about it. Thank you. So ClassroomQ, if you don't know about it now, it's I think it's the easiest tool out there that has ever been made. Basically, a teacher and myself, we made it a few years ago. And so I would like to talk about what problem it solves, because there's like 1,000 tools out there right now. So why would anyone want to pick up a new tool? So to me, the problem I think that we solved is kind of the reason that we started it was, if you're ever in a classroom, especially like a blended classroom where kids are on computers, and you find yourself kind of running around like a crazy person trying to get from this person to this person, this person has a question and they need help, and what we do is we kind of just make that whole process a lot easier. I always describe it like a digital deli ticket kind of system. So the idea of a kid clicks a button, you're aware they need help, and then they can get back to work, and you kind of work your way through the queue. So at its simplest form, that's what it is. It's the same idea of like flipping a red cup if a kid needs help, or putting their name on the board if they need help. So this system's in place, but this is the digital way to do it, which is so much easier. I think because we've all had that kid who put their name on the board, but of course on the way there, they stopped and talked to 5 friends, and you know, it took them 10 minutes to get back to their seat or whatever, played with the cup. So this is just a really easy way for kids to tell you they need help, and then you can help them. So that's kind of what it is in a nutshell.
Awesome. And then can you explain maybe how it might apply to the remote classroom, how teachers can utilize it following remote learning and as they're transitioning back into the physical classroom?
Yeah, so I'm going to be honest with you. I actually don't think our tool is super great for remote learning. People are using it for sure, but our main niche, I think, that we fill is it helps you maintain face-to-face conversations. It really helps make that easier, less stressful. So in a remote setting, obviously, there's a whole lot of digital conversations. So I do actually think there's probably better tools out there, which I probably shouldn't be saying, of course, as I'm trying to tell people about my tool. But I think that our main use is going to be once people go back and your kids are on computers, and hopefully we don't have to be 6 feet apart from them and you can talk to them. And so that's when I would encourage people to really hopefully remember us or check us out, is that when you're back there and you have this new skill set and you're on computers and kids are on computers and you want to still maintain face-to-face conversations, that's when I really think that we could really be helpful moving forward once we're back in the classroom.
Definitely. And I think with the increase of technology in the classroom, once we go back, it'll be a necessity to have a tool like ClassroomQ to help teachers manage students and devices and make sure everything is on track. If any of our listeners are interested in implementing ClassroomQ or getting started with it and don't already have it, how would you suggest they find you, get started with ClassroomQ, or kind of pro tips for using ClassroomQ?
Oh, I love that you said pro tips. Yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah, so what I love about our tool, obviously I'm biased because my buddy and I, we made it, is that like you don't need a YouTube video to like watch a training video. Like it's honestly, you can pick it up and it implements into your classroom right away. So if you want to use it, you just go to ClassroomQ, just the letter Q.com. You sign up and it basically, you start a session. Like whenever I've done like PD on it, you can learn about it within 2 minutes. Log in, start a session, kid clicks a button if they need help, and that's basically it in a nutshell. So they can just go and try it out. But for pro tips, I will tell you this. Some people, I'll tell you some of the different ways that maybe people have used it, which I thought was really cool, because I designed it in my classroom because I was running around like crazy. But some people have done it to really help with peer-to-peer help, which has been really cool. So like instead of having the cue on their computer or phone or whatever they have, they'll project the cue. So if Johnny says he's struggling with fractions or whatever it is, and he puts that on the cue, maybe someone else sees it and they go and they can help him. So I've heard a lot of teachers have seen that benefit, which is really cool, because if a kid raises their hand, you don't know what their question is, but if they basically post it on the cue and you project it, kids can help each other, which is really cool. And another really cool way I've seen people use it, which I love, is, okay, so how do you say your name? Tiara?
Tiara.
Tiara. All right, so Tiara, I imagine that it wasn't too long ago that you were in school and you were probably playing like review games and things like that, right? And there's all sorts of like, games.
Yeah, definitely.
Where you use games where like you see like who answered the question first, that kind of thing. And sometimes you'll grab the marker or whatever it is, right? So it's been really cool because people have been using ClassroomQ as like a game buzzer, which I think is the coolest idea. Like, so like when they know the answer, they click the button, and whoever clicked the button first, their name pops up first. You can see who put the name first, second, third, or whatever it is. So people have been using it as like a game buzzer in their classroom. So I think what's so cool, that the fact that it's such a simple tool, is that people are finding all sorts of new ways to use it in their classroom, which has been really cool for me to see.
Yeah, that is cool. I love the idea of having the students' names up there with what topic they have a question on, because like you said, you never know what students are going to ask, and 5 students might have the same questions, so they can help each other. Well, Kyle, thank you so much for talking about ClassroomQ, giving people an idea what it does, how it can benefit their classroom. If they want to connect with you further, where can people find you?
So Twitter is my main place. You can find me at Kyle Niemis, KyleNiemis, or you can follow ClassroomQ at the ClassroomQ on Twitter.
Perfect. We will share all of that so people can easily find you, engage with you, and learn more about ClassroomQ. Thank you so much, Kyle, for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.